Okay, Kevin is muted. I presume Kevin can't speak right now, but Kevin is technically here. Okay. Is everyone on the Foundry?
Good.
Good point. Imagine if Kevin's internet had crashed now too.
Let me just. Just gonna put this here.
Amongst combat details has transferred over your personal settings from amongst little details.
What?
Oh no, that's just what it says.
Okay, so I think that's everyone on Foundry but Kevin, who can't be on Foundry. Fellas, it is late. But, so we're gonna have a little bit of a shorter session today, mostly just to keep the momentum going, also because I wanted to get some mechanical stuff out of the way, so. Don't know how long we're going to go for. Naturally, if we get to something that will be too annoying to handle with one like offline person, then we're just going to call it there and then. But I think we could just, just to not let the segment drag on too far after its intended run. Like it's fine for us to get more over with. Well, to recap, on our last session, you received formally the invitation for the 5 of you to attend the ball to be held at the Maximoff Manor on Sunday evening. That having been done with, some of you went to report on the Rella's like usual midday check-in, and to expedite things, also took the opportunity to question Victor, one member of the Grayskull who is homeless and had some mates who were taken into the sanatorium under suspicious circumstances. You then headed to the sanatorium to investigate, enlisting the aid of a guard. Lilia and Mizell accompanying said guard, though he was only aware of, not Lilia, Iluna. He was only aware of Iluna's presence, not Mizell. You then entered the sanatorium together with the guard. The guard quickly began acting somewhat erratically and vanished into the darkness, as both of you experienced some weird things and found the reception and the entrance area of the sanatorium in a state of disarray and odd things growing or manifesting themselves in this space. We had left off our last session with everyone having stepped into the sanatorium after Noah protected the whole party with the Intellect Fortress spell. Now, before we get to the actual gameplay, I would like to talk about a certain mechanic we're going to be using for this area of the game. It is making its debut in our campaign, everyone's favorite, the sanity score. Not going to be using the
When I
sanity
started
score.
69,
No. I'm not going to be using the sanity score like exactly as it was originally presented in the original DMG. I don't think it even is a thing in the 2024, like at least in the suggested version of things. Here's how it's going to work. And if you have any questions, save them for after I'm finished, because it's possible that I will address them during my initial spiel. Let me just take a sip of water. So, how's it going to work? Everyone is going to start with a 5 on their sanity score. That is fixed. It doesn't depend on any other stats or attributes. Every time you fail a sanity check, your sanity score is going to go down by 1. So you have a 5. If you fail a check, it goes down to 4. Progressively, as long as you keep failing these checks, it's going to get harder and harder for you to actually succeed in them. Your sanity score, like it's essentially just like the modifier. I don't like, since we're just using the score for that anyway, there's no reason to go like, oh, it's 20 and then it goes down by 2. No, it's just it's 5 and then it goes down by 1, and you just add your sanity score to the sanity checks essentially. So you have a +5. If you fail one, it goes down to a +4. Nobody has proficiency in any sanity checks. Everyone is the same in that regard, and any other things that affect like intelligence, wisdom, etc., saving throws are not necessarily going to apply to these sanity checks, except for specific circumstances that may make sense. I'm specifically opening that exception for the Intellect Fortress spell, since it already basically covers every other kind of mental saving throw, and it's already been brought up as a measure of protection. I think it would be kind of like a dick move on my part to just go like, oh yeah, Intellect Fortress doesn't work anymore. So the Intellect Fortress will still give you advantage on the sanity checks, but otherwise nobody has proficiency on them, and there are no real influences whether you have bonuses to like wisdom, charisma, or intelligence, or whatever else kind of check, other than just your sanity itself. If your sanity score goes down, it will not go up unless you either spend some time outside of the sanatorium, like you go out and take a break, or bring it up through some other means. I will say that it's not impossible to restore it, but it's also not as simple as like, oh, I cast, I don't know, Lesser Restoration and the sanity score. No, it's not that simple. If you can think of any kind of way that would make sense in character at the moment, you can try it. There are a few specific things at the sanatorium itself that I have considered that are possibilities for regaining some sanity score if you lose it, but otherwise it would be quite difficult to restore it without dedicating some time to that endeavor. If your sanity score reaches 0, you're not going to die or anything like that. It's not quite so drastic, but it will get a bit harder to navigate things without suffering some consequences. I believe that's everything for this this particular mechanic. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Excellent. I'll take that as a no from everyone. Well, with that out of the way, since nobody has failed any checks yet, everyone still has a 5 to their sanity score. And with that, let us go back to the game. You all are at the reception area, or the reception desk of the sanatorium. To sort of like reiterate, this is a small area with a reception desk to the east, that would be to the right of the entrance, and a few chairs lined up on the opposite side. most of the objects on this room are tossed or torn, broken, with dried up blood splatters, drag marks, and other splatters of like weird colorations, like dark greens or black that you can't quite discern what they are. There's still like some drawers on the on the reception on the desk itself that nobody has checked or anything. To the south end of the room there is a metal cell door. It's kind of like grated so you can see through it if you get closer. That leads to the entrance hall where Mizell and Luna have already ventured, though not further from that. And behind the reception desk itself, like to the west side of the room, there is a damaged wooden door that leads somewhere else, presumably.
We want to check the drawers.
I
Are we all
guess so.
still tied together?
Tied?
I might be thinking of Sunday game. I think I'm
No.
thinking of Sunday game when we were going up the mountain. Never mind.
No, we had
think
like
we-
a
I
little
think
rope.
we were-
We did tie
No,
ourselves together.
I think
here.
you did ask to be tied together. I don't know if we did it, but you did ask at one point.
I think I brought it up that we like do one of the things that they do for like kids where you have a rope and everyone holds on to it.
Yeah. You can do that if you want.
I didn't know if I had suggested it. I wasn't married to the idea.
Are you guys tying yourselves together?
If one falls, we all fall.
I guess that's reassuring.
I can test to that. We
Right?
tied
Is everyone tying themselves together, as in like everyone in a big old like nobody can run much farther from the others?
Yes.
I mean, we don't even
Would-
have to all be tied together. We could do like 2 groups of 3, so that way if somebody tried to bolt, at least there'd be a way to kind of keep them in check. Or 2 and 3. I mean, you said there was a guard, but he's apparently long gone at this point.
His ran off into the sanatorium. You may find
He's a
him
pussy.
eventually.
Hopefully in one piece.
He will fix our sanity if it goes down.
Our what?
Our sanity.
Why are you my sanity?
Okay, so are you all tying yourselves together? Are you splitting?
Does
in
anyone have an
groups?
opposing opinion to this?
Nope.
Okay,
No
we're all
worries.
tying ourselves together. I'm not sure. By the waist, by the hands.
I
Does it
think
matter to
hands
anyone?
would be fine.
Okay. Well, the ties everyone
Non-dominant
together.
hand, make it. Yeah. It
Yeah,
doesn't need to be like
non-dominant.
super crazy tied up, but just so that way if somebody immediately tried to bolt, they wouldn't, you know.
I shibari tie everyone together.
Right. Does anyone have a
Why are my
specific?
arms behind my back? I don't feel like that's helpful.
Sorry, force of habit, force of habit.
Does anyone have a specific length of rope?
Probably might have at least 50 feet.
What's the average length?
I don't
50
know how
feet
much.
of silk or hempen rope is the typical explorer's pack.
I mean, if we're
Okay,
doing
I
think
shibari, then you
Mizell-
gotta use the silk.
Yeah, I think Mizell has 50 feet of silk rope, which would probably be better and less unwieldy than hempen.
Where did you get? Okay, I don't even want. It don't matter. Silk
It's part of
rope.
one of the standard explorer packs.
I'm just trying to figure out like where you would get silk rope from.
Right. If you have 50 feet of rope, then that means everyone gets about 10 feet. Realistically, a little less because there is an amount of rope that is wasted in the tying it together. But to hand wave that by just going like, oh, you have a slightly longer rope than that. We'll just say that you guys there is going to be a center of the rope, and none of you can drift further than 10 feet away from that length, essentially. So any single one of you can only be at best 20 feet apart from each other.
Is how we like it.
Yeah, there's some sick ass lightning on my way home.
I think I would want to be the rear guard.
Okay.
Or the daisy chain.
Anyone with a passive perception above 15 can hear some thudding upstairs?
There's some thudding upstairs.
Yes, heard that. Thank you. Trying to ignore it.
Oh, Myzel can't move his token. We're in number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the daisy chain. Where were you thinking Myzel would be?
Probably the in front to be able to be the first to see stuff.
Also the first to be hit.
As
He
you
can
should
take
be.
it now.
I'll be on his butt as usual.
Okay,
I mean, you just can take it.
actually, follow-up question. I was imagining the setup as being like a center, knot, and then 10 feet branching off to each part, so you're always kind of huddled together. But is the intention of it being a straight line rather than a circle? Like Lilia is tied to Rala, who's then tied to Noah, who's then tied to Luna, who's then tied to Myzel? Is that the intent?
I think a linear approach was the intent, but is anyone think a star formation is better?
I think linear is probably.
So then we don't have to. We can kind of bunch up and then also kind of extend out that way, as opposed to always being stuck moving in one giant ball.
Star formation limits our movement more.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're linearly bound, which means it's going to be relevant who is tied to who here.
Yes.
Marching order, Myzel is only tied to Iluna.
We put the
Yes.
kid in the middle, obviously.
Yes.
Okay, so Myzel is tied to Luna, Luna is tied to Noah, Noah is tied to Rala, and Rala is tied to Lilia.
Yep.
Okay. With
Don't
that
let
in
me-
mind,
Married to the money.
I feel like I probably had you actually tie it up at my elbow, so I would be less likely to accidentally touch it with my hands and rip it.
Should Luna?
Oh,
Not
actually,
be
can you just
autonomous,
tie it around my
maybe?
belt? I think that'd be better. Just tie it around my belt right there.
All right. I do the same thing for her.
okay. You all have your setup, and you can be at best 10 feet away from your partners. With that in mind, after spending maybe 5 to 10 minutes setting that up, what is your next move?
Which door are we
Did
going
Myzel
to?
want to check those cabinets?
Hey, Mazel, you should say choo choo while you're moving up there.
Choo choo.
You're like a train. You're leading the train. Choo choo.
Are there trains in Grimvar?
This
No,
reminds me of that book I read that was called The Human Centipede.
No.
because of course it does.
I'm not
How
gonna
can
ask
a
you
human
what's
be a
up.
centipede?
It's messed
Hey,
up.
the Lagoons exist. There are centipede people.
That is so different. That
But it
is.
still answers the question, how can a human be a centipede? There are human centipedes. It's just not the same
I
concept.
guess the concept of insectoid mammalians had not quite occurred to me. I had only thought of them as being mammal hybrids.
Yeah,
I've seen the
that's
human centipedes.
yeah. I've been thinking a lot about that lately. I may have given them the impression that lagoons are only birds or mammals, but there are insects as well.
We
Okay.
don't. What? Oh wait, so like,
How common are they? Would Lily have ever met one?
Probably, yeah. They're not super common though, especially because they tend to live like some of them live in like colonies of their own kind, and others are a little bit more reserved.
I feel like
they are.
biologically they would also prefer warmer climates over cold ones.
Yeah, that's the thing also. Like I was gonna say, insects in general are not super prevalent in colder regions, but you would have seen like the occasional like cockroach, like goose.
so like, furries are furries and scalies are scalies. What are bug ones? Are there bug ones? Is there a subculture I'm not aware of?
Almost
They're-
certainly. I mean, there's been enough hot anime insect women that there's gotta be a name for
Dude,
it.
there are like I don't
Like
know.
Overlord did a whole lot for whoever that community is.
Hunter
It's
Hunter
me.
2. Hunter Hunter 2.
Hunter Hunter too. True.
Yeah,
The ant
it's
solo
colony was
leveling.
all up in it for those. I don't know.
Solo leveling literally had a Chimera Ants arc.
Yeah, but they weren't hot. Neferpitou was hot. That was that's different.
That's from
Go
an
along
insect
with previous naming convention. Fur equal furry, scale equals scaly, exoskeleton equals skelly.
Skelly.
Kitten.
Skelly is
Exoskelly.
pretty
Yeah, I
good,
think I'm on the. Are you on a Reddit thread?
Oh wait, crawlies.
Oh, crawlies. I
Oh,
hated
Crawlies.
that.
Crawlies is
I mean,
actually good.
Crawlies is
Yeah.
a winner. As much as I hate it, it's a winner.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't like
Daka, I
it.
think Neferpitou might be the exact overlap in our tastes.
Yes, actually yes.
Which one's Nef? Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%.
That's so funny.
I mean, I feel like Neferpitou really offers a little bit of everything for everybody.
also because Neferpitou is like you look at it and you're like, I don't even know if that's an insect, a he, a she, or an insect. All that I know is yes.
Yes.
Them coded.
wood.
Yeah, I mean,
The answer
Neferpitou
is
literally
wood.
has no confirmed gender.
Yeah, I
I
know.
love that. I love that for them. That's so good.
I love it. I can just imagine whatever I want, and that's the fun part.
The true
Their
gender
gender is
envy is wanting to be
loyalty to the
perceived as either
king,
man, woman, or
which-
insect.
My gender is
That's
loyalty.
the real gender envy right there.
Okay, fellas, this tangent didn't even have anything to do with
This
the game.
tangent lasted exactly as long as it needed to. I just finished filling up on gas so I can make it home now.
Let's fucking
Congrats.
go. Okay, fellas, what are you investigating first? What are you doing?
This dick. My bad.
I mean, I would
Good question,
love
Rita.
to investigate the files,
Right.
but I would love for my Zelda to do it more.
Mm-hmm. Myself can
so
do
the,
it.
So the reception desk would be around like here. There is a door like right behind the desk itself. The chair where the receptionist presumably would have sat, like you just see a pile of by now rotten and singed wood, and there are some drawers with a few files that were. A couple of the drawers are broken and like there's just nothing there, but others do have files still. They record essentially like records of visitations. Not necessarily visitations, but like people who came through here, whether they were getting admitted into the facility or they were there to visit a relative or something of that nature, or they were just like here to escort someone. If they were guards, you can quickly assess that like the people working guard duty here, they don't live here, but they do stay the night like as a night watch on occasion. So presumably there is a place here for them to spend the night at, but they don't live here because there are entries of guards coming in like in the morning and leaving in the night or leaving the following morning. How is Rella looking at? Oh, speaking of which, Rella, after you get here, you're seeing the same creepy things as everyone else, like on the walls and stuff, but oddly enough, without the usual flair.
Other stuff, gotcha.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, quickly inspecting the documents, you find several names, which, unless you're looking for a specific name that you're paying extra attention for, I would say it's a lot of like common person names, like whether they are being brought here or visiting, but there are many names, like a bookkeeping. But what does strike you somewhat is that the last officially recorded visitations that you can see here were well over 2 years ago.
2
There are
years.
there are no records more recent than that.
This city. I just want to go to a
It's-
normal city.
Did something happen 2 years ago that I would know about?
Roll history check.
Didn't Priscilla say she got turned like 2 years ago as well?
No.
No way.
Well, you know that Magda Ambrose won the pie baking competition 2 years ago. It caused some drama because a lot of people thought that Joanna Lemonberg had actually the best pie, but since Magda was banging one of the judges, like, you know, she took the win. But nothing actually relevant to this discussion. No, this factoid just crosses through your brain, and it consumes you so much you can't remember anything else.
You really shouldn't have won.
I'm sure whatever's happening in that brain of yours is very important.
Sorry, it just... I don't know why I felt so upset for a moment.
As long as you're okay.
This place is intriguing.
This place is what?
Intriguing.
I hate it.
It's different, it's unique. It's unusual.
Dark and creepy, and I hate it.
I'm also not a fan. I wish we could find a way to keep this unsettling presence at bay.
I'm also pretty sure it's killed a lot of people.
Yeah, probably.
In
Maybe
2
Gigi
years, I'm
knows
sure.
something about it.
Say what?
Maybe Gigi knows something about it.
Yeah, sure.
Rala,
Gigi, do you
could
know
you-
anything about this place?
You know, has Gigi heard about it or seen anything, or are they related to one another?
I mean, he's been with me the past 2 years, so no.
I turn to the others in a like, you see what I fucking mean kind of gesture.
I wonder if I can use headphones with this mic. I don't think I can. Because it cuts off the port.
Hmm.
Soul is fighting for his life.
Yep, for real.
Soul's microphone died, I think.
1, 2, 3. Huh,
Wait, nope, now I can hear them.
But were you asking for input from Gigi?
I mean, I guess I could, but like I said, he's been with me the past 2 years, so I don't know.
I love hearing burps through the through the headset.
Am I echoing?
No.
No?
Not for me.
No.
No.
Oh, okay. I've been
Okay.
told this headset sometimes echoes. So I wasn't sure what Nix was referring to.
It was probably me.
I don't even remember what I said.
I
Oh,
could hear you
GG.
'cause I was trying
GGB.
to bring up my headphones.
Yeah,
Oh,
asking
yeah.
GG.
Your obsession.
GGB. Yeah, I said if GG knows anything or has seen anything or is maybe related to the thing.
Related.
probably
Yeah,
like super unrelated.
You never know.
and Rala was like, you just been like
It-
here.
I've been carrying him for 2 years, so
But maybe he knows something anyway. Worth asking.
I guess I can. And, do you know anything about this?
No?
See, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Now you know it for sure. Always double check your facts. It's important.
Rala, how long have you had GG?
What the fuck? Why do these bitches? Oh, sorry, language. Why do these people suspect me like that?
I don't know. They, I don't. I mean, I think Mr. Nora might have gotten bonked on the head or something, but I don't know.
And-
But
I mean, I did bonk him on the knee pretty hard that one time.
yeah,
I
I
know you
mean-
two just adore interrogating children, but could we maybe later?
I was just genuinely curious.
What's that old saying?
Rala, you're quite young, and to have had GG for 2 years, that's a not insignificant portion of your life. So I was curious exactly how long it was.
I mean, I don't remember the exact day, but yeah, it's been about 2 years.
All right, moving on.
Aren't you investigating something? I thought that was the...
Am I investigating something? I'm not. I'm still driving, so I can't see the map. What am I investigating?
The files on the reception desk, they essentially amount to that, like visitor entrance and exit logs.
I'll just do it. I'll investigate. What does it say?
Well, that's
That's what Docker just said. He's not
Yes.
making us roll.
Oh, okay, that's all it says. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can gather that it's just like a bunch of books recording who's entering and who's exiting. If you would like to check for some specific name, you could spend some time analyzing the files. Otherwise, you'd just be reading through a very long list of names, which you're welcome to do so. But
I'm just gonna go back 2 years and look for Mr. Windrunnen's name.
Yes, I would like to do it myself if you don't mind.
Sure, you can have it. There
I
you
can
go.
assist.
you
Myself.
can. Noah, are you sure you would like to read the book?
Yeah.
You
can.
know you can't.
Ah!
You know you can't read the book.
True.
Yeah,
Fuck,
remember?
I forgot for a second.
Yeah, it's.
Myself
I'm not
got
gonna. I'm not gonna be a bit. I'm not gonna be a bitch to you and be like, oh, you disrespected it. Like, I'm gonna be like, no, you can feel when your eyes are about to read
forgot.
something you shouldn't.
I forgot.
Yeah.
So I'll, like reach out to grab it, and then I'll say, "No, you do it."
I'll take a
Alright.
look.
Okay. You go through like the most recent book that you found, which, like I mentioned, is about like 2 years and some change, and then you start going back a bit. It takes you a few minutes as you go back, and like there's a lot of names. But going back maybe 3 to 4 months before the final entry, you indeed see Marco Windrunnen, just a visitor.
Does it say who he was visiting?
Actually, no. and they usually do keep track of those. It says it is just on the sort of field for the purpose of visit, sort of. It says he wished to know the facilities.
Well, that's suspicious.
What does it say?
It says he came to inspect the facilities or learn the facilities, get to know them. He didn't come to visit anyone in particular, according to the logbook.
So maybe
It's
this
not-
is his headquarters.
It's not particularly shocking to know that he's involved in this.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's his headquarters. I don't think he would have let us just make our way in. But I do think
No, he's likely just turned someone here, another one of his darlings.
Ugh.
I guess it's a base of his then. We'll probably have to deal with a lot of grunts before we get to the bus.
You look like a game, and I love that for you.
I read that in a book too.
What was it called?
It was a weird one that I had to read backwards, I guess, but it was called Pokemon.
You're stupid.
Manga is now canon.
I'm moving on from this place. Is there anything anyone else wants to do?
No, I want to move on to.
I'm just
Right.
waiting for something to fight.
Unless there's anything else you wish to inspect from these visiting logs, there is the door to the entrance hall that you've already been through, and a wooden door to the left. Well, since you're at the reception desk, it would be right next to you.
Myzel will. Ooh, actually, I just had an idea. Did the text on the page, whatever they used to write, leave an indent that Myzel can just make a copy of using graphite and a piece of paper
Leave it.
to just make it?
What do you mean leave a dent?
If when you're writing, it kind of leaves an impression in the paper sometimes. And then if you put another piece of paper on top of that, you can use a fine piece of graphite to rub down the page in the spots where
to see if there was
writing.
a page torn out.
No. He just wants to make a
copy
copy
the
of this,
text.
an exact copy of this page without tearing it out of the book.
Okay.
Probably could tear it out of the book, but that might offend book lovers.
I don't think people that read books view logs the same way they view books. I think we view that shit as some work we have to do, and we would burn it gladly.
Fine. That's too much work. Myzel's just going to carefully tear that page out of the logbook and stick it in his pouch of holding.
Okay.
All right, we have this as evidence just in case we need it. Let's move on.
Do we want to go to the one we haven't gone through, or the one we did, me and you? How adventurous are you feeling?
Let's make sure we don't get blanked first. I think the route that we initially went is definitely the more endgame route.
Man, you guys are on fire with the
Well, let's not
meta
go
terms today, huh?
let's not go the right way first. We need to get all the collectibles.
Yes, exactly.
Pick
If
up
there's a
every
potion
item,
of
please.
sanity restoration in here, we need to find it.
I'm a fucking wood chipper in a bookshop right now. What do I do?
Okay,
Yeah.
are you going through the...
Can't even
the door?
interact with things, bro. Took away everything from you.
Hands on the hips.
Yeah, Myzel will open the door.
Yeah, the door is it's a wooden door. It's very it seems to be quite damaged. There are scratch marks on it, and it's a little broken off the hinges, but it's not locked. You can open it easily. Oh, I have lost connection to the server. I have regained connection to the server. I'm gonna open the door. You should be able to move in or see into the door now, if you couldn't before. This room that you see behind the reception desk seems to be an archive of some sort. It has several metal cabinets filled with folders and crates with various documents inside. Some of the cabinets have been turned over somehow. One of them seems to be almost like it was compressed, like it's heavily bent and the folders have been scattered on the floor. Many of the files are damaged. Some are dampened in a way that shouldn't really happen in a cold climate like this, but they still are sort of like moldy with this black, weird mold. But a lot of them are still intact, ranging from, whatever kind of files you may be capable of finding here.
Well, that's a health hazard if I've ever seen one. Does it look like it's patient records if I pick up like a page off the ground and scan it briefly?
Yeah, if you pick up a random page and take a look at it, this is the specific page that you find does seem to have someone's clinical record, like their age, physical condition, and a little bit of the evolution of their conditions. But you can see that that's not the only kind of document here. There are way too many files.
Patient records, and what else do we have here? Mizell will go kind of pick up another sheet that looks to be a different format.
Another one seems to be a sort of an outdated clearance with the city council for conducting like activities, like, oh, the kitchen is cleared for functioning, like inspectors have come here and have given the go ahead for them to continue working under, like, health guidelines. Seem to be a lot of documents, like assorted documents from the sanatorium, like just stored
And
here.
some legal logs. Are you seriously? Oh my god. Somebody on their back of their pickup truck has a sticker that says "I love MILFs," and I'm just like, y'all really taking that out in public?
What the fuck? That is
What if
bold.
they-
That is not even close to the most degenerate thing I've seen on somebody.
I
What if they like
actually
milk?
respect it. Like, I
They
actually
better be
Anyway.
respect it.
fucking moms. They better be, actually keeping good to their word, though, if they're gonna have that on their truck.
They better be fucking mom. I mean, once you have a child, shouldn't you just, you're entitled to just put in that sticker,
I mean, I guess that's
touche.
fair. Like,
Touche.
just like if you ever have a second child, you've just fucked a MILF. So
Exactly. Like, once you have a child with a woman, she has become a MILF, like, by definition.
I mean, it's Father's Day just happened. It's time to start working on it for next year.
true enough. All right. Anyway,
All the MILF lovers.
um,
My favorite part about this, guys, is that with my headphones on, Lindsay can only hear half this conversation. So I'll say nothing for a little bit, and then all of a sudden she'll just hear say, MILF lovers, or something along those lines, and she just goes, I'm just going to keep playing my game. That sounds about right. She doesn't even flinch. She's too busy making this castle.
Just standard D&D
most
talk.
regular conversation in D&D.
Yeah.
That's the goal, guys. We have to say something. You guys have to make me say something so absurd. Lindsay will stop what she's doing and look at me.
It needs
That's
to
a
be in
good goal.
character.
I support it.
so there's a lot of logs and other things here. If we knew who he'd turned and who was back there, we might be able to try and find some information on them. But I don't know if we know enough yet for any of this to be useful to us.
Ah, yes. Logs. And a sanatorium.
Patient logs, there's probably some research notes in here if they've been looking at anyone's conditions.
I wish I
This
could
one's a
help, but I
legal
can't
record
read.
of the kitchen being certified as health safe, although it's been so long that I just don't understand. Did nobody come inspect this place for 2 years and realize that it's become a gigantic trap?
If he has enough power to influence everyone in the town to kill themselves, I'm sure he has enough magic to make this place become whatever the hell this is. And if
Or
not,
his spawn.
that as well.
It may not necessarily be needed to place malice when it could just be coincidental. It may not be by malicious
Gross
means that it got like
ineptitude.
this.
That's
Yeah.
true. He probably could have put other people in within the institution under his spell as a small scale thing, because he only just did the rest of the town a few weeks ago.
Or, and this is just a thought, this organization is corrupt and no one's checked on them because no one cares about malcontents.
Also, an unfortunate possibility.
But not.
Best not to assume that at first.
We should come back here once we know the identity of the person, but I don't think this. Well, actually, do you think Marco hid one of his diary entries in here? Can we take a quick scan around to see if there's anything that looks like one of Marco's journal entries?
His general entries were like a stack of papers, and you're looking at like a lot of folders and crates filled with papers. It's possible a similar stack of papers would be hidden in the many crates of stacks of papers here, but you would need to sort through them just a little bit.
Do we want to dedicate time to that or try and just knock this issue out first?
It almost, I feel like we found them with or near where some of the other larger threats were residing. Like we found those one notes next to that big. It's like he's making us work for each little bit of information he's given us. I think that's part of it, is that we're going to have to work to earn this part of the story as part of his grand whatever he's got planned.
That's true.
It's actually such a great point.
Oh, don't compliment him.
I
No,
still
we're complimenting
despise
you.
this game he's
Oh.
making us play.
You
Yeah, I
made the
think
good point.
he's wanting to pull our strings like some grand marionette master and get us all to play a certain part in this, and
Like an author.
yeah, like an author.
I told you he's making us tell a story.
So I think if we want to get that information, we're going to have to work for it. I don't
Alright,
think he's
we'll
just going to leave
revisit.
it in first room.
We'll revisit this room once we might have an idea of what we're looking for.
We go through the other door. The main
Deeper
door.
deeper into the maze we go.
All right, you're going back to the entrance hall then. The grated sort of like metal cell door is open. You can open it and start heading in. Like I said, visibility is a little limited, artificially so, but you can all in your little obligatory conga line make your way into the entrance hall one at a time, obviously. To reiterate again, the entrance hall is this wider area with about 4 triage Okay.
It wasn't American. It
Yes.
was French.
This was
Before
the French
triage
version.
desks.
Yeah, triage.
Choose your Latin. Dun, dun, dun,
Triage,
dun.
triage messes. Now they are mostly broken. One of them seems to have been just like fucking split in two, like if something heavy crashed into it. And the others are in similar disrepair, like the chairs laying broken near their feet, a few coat hangers to your left on the wall there. All of the reception, the triage desks still contains a few damaged papers. You can see that they briefly described patient conditions and other sorts of things. Some of them, well, you would have to really read them to know more. The walls have odd growths on them at certain points, like there are some plants or fungi that you can't really recognize, and some dark spots where there shouldn't be really any. Where you should be able to see still. To those of you that have dark vision, because there is no natural light in here. So if those of you not raised with dark vision want to see, you would have to produce a light source.
Didn't somebody have the light cantrip?
It's stuck
Or
on my
dancing lights or
ass.
something.
Yeah, just
Myzel has dancing lights, but it requires concentration, and we were trying to avoid that.
I have laid on my ass.
okay. Just establishing the fact
No,
that you
it's
guys.
just getting like the awful person with super high LED lights in front. Just every time his gaze goes like, ah.
I'm
Your
literally
problem
being
so long
mooned.
as he's not looking at the ass.
Are you implying that Aluna does not at any point want somebody looking at her ass? Are there moments where she doesn't want people looking at her
I'm
ass?
implying that Noah doesn't look at Aluna's ass. I think.
Noah's very asexual.
There you go. See? The perfect
You can be
person
ace
to
and
be behind.
appreciate a good ass.
That's true.
Not moms.
That's true. You cannot
Fair.
appreciate your mom's ass.
I mean, you shouldn't.
Just like goes down to look where he's stepping even. It's just like, oh god.
Actually,
Anyway.
if you're gay, you get the pass.
Immediately to your right, as you enter the hall, there is another door. Like again, damaged, but still intact, but still like whole. Wooden door that is currently closed. And to the farther end of this entrance area, there is a larger, heavy metal door, slightly bent, but still there and closed, leading to the further into the sanatorium.
Quick question.
Yes.
If I close my eyes, do the scents match up with the sights? Like, does what I smell match up with what I see?
Okay, make a perception check, please.
I believe I have advantage on scent-based perception checks.
You have advantage on all perception checks.
Oh, but I don't have that great.
You did
Well, nat 20 will do it.
it. Hey,
All right.
it looks so cool.
You close your eyes and focus on the smells. You can pick up the smell of seasoned wood that comes from like the floor itself. A certain smell of like dampened wood as well. A little bit of sulfur, oddly, you can pick up coming from like one of the walls. Coming immediately from your right, like from the closed door, you sense similarly like a foul smell, like dirty things, maybe excrement even. And in other parts of the hall, you smell weird scents that you don't even know. Like you're not familiar with them. They are they seem to remind you of grass, but it's not exactly the scent of grass, and it's a bit disturbing. It does seem to like match, you are smelling things in the direction where you're seeing the things. It's not an illusion. But it does begin to disturb you a bit because they are things that seem sort of, both in the look and in the smell of them, they resemble things that you have seen in the natural world, but at the same time they are just slightly different. Like they don't really belong here. And due to that, I would like you to make a sanity check.
So how do I do that? It's just a D20 plus 5?
It's a D20 plus 5, and you have advantage if I believe someone has cast
We
Intellect
all
Fortress.
have.
You broke yourself without even touching yourself. Crazy.
That sounded like something a Dom
That
would
is-
say.
Broke
Broke yourself without even touching yourself. That's like so
Oh
Dom
damn.
coded.
Okay. But fortunately, you have been in several situations over your lifetime where you had to get acclimated with something that was strange to you, and your senses had to just adjust and accept that that was a new thing that exists in this world. And in this case, although it's still a little disturbing and doesn't feel like it should be here, you can just treat these as like new kinds of fauna that you are coming across.
I'm gonna try and like kind of ground myself, I think would be the best way to say it, of just like, okay, so now this is like, there's been enough in the past, how long has this campaign been going? In the past like 6 months of Lilia's life, like pretty much every aspect of it has had a dramatic shift. So like getting acclimated to something, being very suddenly very different. It's like, well, that's weird. Well, that's what it is now. Just very much this moment of being like, well, that's kind of weird.
You remember
All right,
when
it is what it is. It is what it
remember when you
is.
found out when you were in a science experiment?
Well, it is what it is. The sun still rises. The moons do too. Just because the
Not
world's
that
changed.
different from when like Mizell goes invisible and Lily is just like, I still smell you, but I don't see you.
I can smell you.
I can smell you.
But also, I'd like to point out this campaign's been 2 months tops, maybe only one
The
And I
in
think
game or out of game?
in game.
In game, it's
Out of
been
game, we're approaching 2 years.
Yeah, in game I do think it's been like a month and a half or something. But
so if like the last 4 months.
for Lilia, like sort of like the extended adventure, I think would be 4 to 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is what you perceive, and a smell of blood.
I like how that's just
Does the smell
added
of sulfur
aside.
remind me of the other devils we've faced?
No, it's not quite the same.
Or the summoning circle.
Lily, we're just trying to think of any other time she has smelled sulfur.
Yeah, if it makes sense. Like I am not a chemist by any means, but the one from the anything coming from like the demon circles would smell a little more like burnt of sorts.
Okay.
This one doesn't. It's more like just like the substance itself.
That was a good movie.
Elemental sulfur versus like sulfur fire, sulfur combustion.
Yes, definitely. In smart people terms.
I'm a wannabe chemist. I just put on the code of one and they're letting me pass. It's great.
Biology is applied chemistry.
Or I just
Are
never
you
got a
also
degree.
one? I
Damn
also
it,
think
degree.
pharmacists are
Isn't
hilarious.
everything just technically applied chemistry?
I mean,
Well, chemistry is applied physics.
yeah, so really
Correct,
everything
but
is
still.
applied physics.
Which
Because
is just
music's
applied
not
math.
chemistry, but music is physics.
Okay, true.
Is that what is boxing applied physics?
Yeah.
On a very large scale.
If I punch you in the face, you feel
could
equal and
calculate the
opposite
momentum.
reaction.
Yeah, based
you're
on the
using a-
mass.
Using a lot of vectors on those punches. Lots of vectors. Anyway, fellas, back to the game.
God, it's been too long since we've had a full session. We're getting stir crazy.
Yeah, and this is not a full session still. Like,
I
it's just
know,
like
we're
an
getting
hour.
antsy.
Yeah.
Didn't even get the Sunday fix, man. Johnson.
Where are we?
There's
Are
a.
we
You said
we're
there's
in the
a
entrance
door.
hall? We're in the entrance hall?
Yeah, you're in the at the entrance hall.
Conga line, can we move?
There is a door like immediately to your right here, and one at the far end. The one that you
Luna
have
and I
not crossed.
have a Luna and I. Oh no, that's right. That's the one we had not gone in yet.
Yeah, it's the one you
Let's
didn't
check
go.
this side one
And
before we
Mazel
proceed
also
down the end.
This man
Okay.
wants to spend his entire life in here.
Oh yeah, something smells weird in there, by the way.
Yeah, it is. The door is like not closed shut. It's closed but slightly ajar. And as you get close, you do smell a bit of a bad smell coming from there.
You want to check it out, or
Hey Noah,
Really?
when is a door not a door?
When is
What
the
did
door
you
When
not
it's
a door?
ajar.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I just figured out a pun.
You just figured out a riddle.
So
Lily
do you
looks
want to check out the
genuinely
smell?
excited by that.
You just smiling, waving.
Okay, are you guys going into the thing?
Yeah. Mazel will open the door.
Okay, as you push it, you can feel that the hinges on the door itself are broken. Like if you just push it a little bit, it's just going to come off. Like it's been thrown off it somehow. The area that presents itself to you is a bathroom. It is a fairly simple bathroom. There is no bath to be spoken of. It's like a toilet, etc. It is wrecked, dirty. The toilet is kind of like cracked. There are substances on the floor and over the walls that normally should not belong there. Like they belong in this room, just not out of the toilet. But they are old. They're already a little rotten.
That's the biggest hoops I've ever seen. That's say shit and excrement.
Yeah. You know, I'm a flowery guy. I just need to spice things up.
Really is. That's a funny smell.
You do see there are some drag marks as well on the floor, sort of like from the toilet to the outside. But you do see a vial containing a red substance to like kind of like laying beside the toilet.
Ugh.
Well, that's probably blood, but might as well check it.
Ugh.
With detect magic going, does that vial appear magical?
It does. It has the very familiar side of a potion of healing.
Mazel will pick it up, uncork it, give it a sniff. Does it smell like a healing potion normally would?
Yeah,
Smells like shit.
the vial is cracked. It was nearly like spilling all over the floor. But as you uncork it and take a sniff, it seems to be a little like it's not expired, but it's matured a bit. You know, it's old. But it is a minor potion of healing, not super potent, but still functioning.
Well, it's not super new or potent, but it's a healing potion. Let's get it out of this jar or vial before it spills out, and Mazel will take a fresh vial and just transfer the contents.
Lena just looks at it in disgust.
It saves a life.
It's a poo potion.
Yeah, I don't know
least
why they
not
would need a
whatnot.
healing potion at the toilet.
You should never drink. But well, I guess if you're going to drink a potion anywhere, it should be on the toilet. Can we be out of this place?
I will give you one opportunity to make an intelligence check.
Me?
No, myself.
Okay.
To know why someone would have a potion at the toilet?
Yes, to piece together what happened here.
They had
All right.
diarrhea.
Sweet.
Piece of
I
shit.
will. Myself will always attempt to solve a puzzle.
I'm glad Rala and Aluna are aligned in this. It's
10.
truly my child.
Can't quite piece together everything right now, but it does feel to you like that that potion was dropped there for starters. It wasn't left there because it was very much lying in the manner that says it was dropped. It was cracked like at the point of impact. And also the bathroom's doors, like the hinges were broken and there were drag marks on the floor.
Which direction are the drag marks?
Away from the toilet, so into the entrance hall.
Someone was probably fighting, tried to hide in here to take this potion, and was dragged out. Well,
Portrait that is.
may it be used to defeat whatever dragged them out. And Myzel will stow the potion, the transferred into a clean bottle
The
in his little pouch
potion?
of holding.
The
True. I'm putting that into
Potion.
my notes. We find the potion
Yeah.
of healing.
Zapushan.
I don't know. Like, have you ever seen that clip of like Stitch where he's voiced by Dio?
Yeah.
Whoa. Sorry. I think about that often.
Lives rent free.
Yeah. Every time I see Stitch, I'm just like, oh yeah, I remember this stuff. I just think of Dio laughing. Anyway, let's get out of the poo room.
Anyone has to go while we're here.
I'll pass. I can hold it.
You'll probably have to do it in front of everyone. So
I don't poop.
Insight check.
Everybody,
I'm
Check
gonna
check my
poops.
insides.
There's a
No.
buckle bath there.
Insides check.
Not the colonoscopy check.
New and your girl.
it's for his health.
The con saving throw.
Right, fellas, what's poppin'?
Moving forward,
Moving on.
next to the next door.
Okay. This door does seem a little more difficult to open, though.
Like a locked door, or like just like seems barred shut type beat.
Doesn't seem to be locked. Just seems to be a little hefty and slightly stuck in place.
I like to think that in funny line fashion, Maizel turns to Luna. Luna turns back. Noah, I'm not sure what you do.
Which door is it that we're at?
The south one.
South
Front
one.
of the entrance hall.
I don't. Oh, I don't have.
Move forward.
My vision ends there.
All right, I don't have a light on. How do I put a light on me? I found it.
Great.
Is it a 10-foot radius or something?
I think bright light for 20 and then dim light for further 20. The light spell.
Why would they make it black?
Glad you said it.
For light? That's not how that
Harry
works.
Potter fans win Snape.
Ew.
Damn, you're racist as hell.
I remember seeing that clip of Harry being the only one suspicious of Severus. He's like, I don't know, guys. There's just something weird about. There's just something off, and it's just a black dude.
Wow, Harry. Whew.
I open a door.
Oh, this was brighter than I thought it would be.
Open your.
You mean your?
All right. Damn, that's very bright. Like it
It's
has like
a
this
flashbang.
Yeah, all of the all of the
Luna's
characters'
ass is
portraits.
radiant.
It washes this out so much. It's so funny.
I'm lowering it.
Oh my god, there we go. We have features
just,
again. We were
yeah, it just
giving
looks like everyone's faces were.
shoujo characters from the 90s that are just a nose and that's it.
I was just picturing everyone's portraits being like squinting, like at bright, like, oh, bruh, what the fuck?
Luna had censorship for like whenever she does like a kicking move. Like that's how like no one sees
Oh,
the
yeah.
picture. It's just light.
Okay, you push the door open with your amount of strength. I won't have you roll for it. You just manage to do it, but it does take a little bit of power. And in front of you, there is a wider area that is a corridor. It extends further to your left, so to the east of the sanatorium. Let me see here. It is dimly lit and looks a little ominous. All of you can hear a few sounds echoing through the corridor. Sometimes it feels like it's just, old house creaking sounds, and at other times it feels like it's like a lamentation, like a whimpering. From all sides of the corridor, you can't really pinpoint a location for it. There is a single source of light further into the corridor, though you can't discern details. It's kind of like just a ball of light in the middle of a pitch black darkness where the sort of like this presence in the air itself limits your vision. From some sort of area that seems to lead outside this light source. Immediately to your right, there is a door leading to. It's slightly ajar as well. It's leading to some sort of room. Definitely not a bathroom. Like it seems bigger than that one. And continuing further down, there is like this sort of like arched passageway. It's not like closed. There's no door or anything. It's just like a passageway where the sort of like corner of the building would be.
Well, let's check out this door on the right first. Make sure no one's sneaking up on us. Myzel will open door number 1.
Okay. As you go in and sort of like approach things so your field of vision can adjust to where everything is. This seems to be a kitchen. It is equipped with furnishings for serving large quantities of people. So it has several stoves, ovens, and workstations, but they are all very dirty with this eldritch-looking grime covering certain areas like this. It doesn't look like the ectoplasm you saw at the graveyard. It's more like this different shade of green, sometimes purple, that seems to drip from nowhere and ooze from nowhere. And this putrid smell that again has a mix of cadaveric smells with something you can't quite put your finger on, really. There are a few animal carcasses laying over the counters, and one of the counters has a dried up corpse lying on it.
Ugh, now that's disgusting. Myself will
Cadaverific.
Cadaverific.
Myself will like tie a bandana across his face and be like, "The smell is awful."
Oh, you've been breathing through your nose. Foolish.
Can only imagine how bad it is for Lilia.
I mean, once something has been exposed long enough, you just kind of get used to it.
I stopped smelling after the potion room. Is there anything else in there? Because I'm not walking.
As Mazel checks the room, I forget to say this, but there is also another door around here.
Myself kind of poked in. There is another door. Ugh, don't know. Oh, I want to. Here, if you stay there, I can try and
We
get
can't
to that other
stay
door.
anywhere. I had to be
I
within
know.
10 feet of
Yeah.
you.
You have to all go in if one goes in.
Yeah, this
Do
is
we
about
want to
as
check
far
that
as
other
I can.
door?
I want to see. There was an entrance hole. Is there like a floor plan of like that you are here type?
Not anywhere that you went to.
Damn
You know,
it.
we could always just try setting this whole place on fire and be done with it.
Oh yeah, let me see if that works.
And I don't think anybody has tried it before.
Is the building mostly stone, wood?
Flesh.
The floor seems to be made of wood, but everything else seems to be stone, including the ceiling.
The floor is made of floor.
Like you know it's 2 stories tall, high, but the ceiling, as you can see it, like it's not made of wood; it's stone.
So we're not burning it down. Do you want to continue through that door?
Let's see if there's anything in there. Hold your breath, everyone. Myzel will proceed far enough
Colors
in.
left us.
You all venture into the kitchen. Everyone is subject to that foul smell and the very inviting sights of several animals and the remains of one person being just strung across the kitchen. There's like food tossed everywhere, a lot of it rotten, and again, you know it shouldn't be rotten on this level in this environment. I also didn't mention this particularly, but there are heating pipes over the wall, running through like the walls and presumably inside the building that you can see, like in the same way that there are on other buildings of the city, but they are not emanating any heat. They don't seem to be functional currently. So it is very cold in here.
Have
Can
we
we
seen
use-
any generators that we have to repair on our way in so far?
Oh my god. Unfortunately, I did not think that far ahead.
Shit.
I should
That'd
have
be
though.
funny. We could play Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
get 5 gens going, then maybe the gates open and we can defeat this thing.
Yep. What are you trying to open? The door there? I guess it's already
Yeah.
open, right? Well,
I was also like, can we use prestidigitation to like freshen the air?
it makes the smell a little better.
Use prestidigitation to just like make the bodies disappear. It's a cleanup spell, right?
Well, it doesn't disappear the like large substances like that.
I know.
The door there though is locked.
Well, I could try to pick it, or Lilia, would you like to just smash?
Have we
I mean,
tried
I can
using
break
a
it down
key?
if you want.
Have we tried looking for a key or
In a whole hospital?
well, somewhere on our way in, maybe?
I
Do you want to go back and search the file room? I haven't seen a key anywhere else.
Can I use my photographic memory to try and recall if there was a key somewhere?
You didn't really see a key anywhere.
If there'd been a key, I would have picked it up.
if y'all don't smash and or pick the lock to this goddamn thing,
Myself will attempt to
keys,
pick the lock.
where the fuck are we? Open up this stupid fucking thing or leave it.
I'll break down the door.
Okay, roll an athletics check.
Fucking keys. Played D&D for 10 years. Fucking ask permission to do
That's
shit.
acrobatics, not athletics.
God.
Oh shit! Yeah, that makes sense. I was like, why is my modifier so low? Yeah, that makes more sense. I'm just dyslexic.
Okay, the door was locked, but it doesn't seem to be like the sturdiest of doors. It's like a very light wooden door. You punch it,
Didn't need a key.
and it easily like caves, swings open. You see before you a food storage room. It seems to be like a simple area for storage of.
I would like to
of
paint the
foods.
mental picture I get of Lilia currently trying to open doors. It's like she goes to go for the handle and then just misses and goes straight through the door above it. And then, like, as she's trying to move her hand, it just gets caught and she just rips the whole door off the hinge. Like, ow. Well,
I guess you were the key after all.
Um,
I mean,
You
you don't have
see-
to unlock it if it's not on the hinges.
You see a lot of crates. Some of them closed. Others seem to be open and have already been scavenged for food. Essentially, like there are only some remains inside. There's this peculiar odor about the air here as well. Some of the foods in the storage seem to be rotted and spoiled in odd ways, but not all of them. Others do seem to be preserved still.
Do those foods that are preserved seem like things that don't normally perish, or are they preserved magically in some way? Myzel's just going to keep detect magic going this whole time.
Okay, make a perception check.
Okie dokie.
All right. They don't seem to be magical in any way. The foods, there doesn't seem to be anything super special about them. They just seem to happen to have not been affected by whatever, and there is, by your assessment, there are enough provisions, like taking a quick look at them. There are enough provisions here to sustain a group of your size for about a week, if you would need that for some reason. But also, as you inspect as you take a look at the crates, you do catch that there is a slight movement near some of them, like off to the corner. Kind of like one of the
Heads up.
crates like creaked slightly.
Heads up, that crate just moved.
Go check it out.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
I mean, I can just throw a
Temptation.
knife at it if you want.
Do it.
Knife.
Let me try something first, and I'll cast
No.
I'll throw out an arcane hand, mage hand.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Big B.
You
Yeah.
cast
Only
a mage
using-
hand.
Yep, and I'll push it forward toward the crate, and I'll try to open it. or pull it toward us, whichever will reveal what's inside.
You try to open the crate.
Yep.
Okay, you open the crate, like the lid just kind of like falls to the side, and the crate itself, like it's a large crate, by the way. Like it's a large, like a 1.5 meters, like 2 meters tall crate of food. And like if you like put your head a little up and then glance down at the crate, you see a few like preserves, you know, some dried meats.
Is it a mimic?
Keep going.
A meat mick.
I
A
said
meat
the
mic.
I said the crate creaked. I didn't say creaked from the inside.
Is there something
just-
else nearby? Can Myzel see?
You
The-
can kind of like, now that you're onto it, you can kind of see that there is some like you can perceive that there is some slight rustling, like on a corner of the room, essentially, like amongst the crates.
Is there a rat?
Who goes there?
Seems a bit large to be a rat.
I'll send the mage hand in again to try and feel for something.
Do you ask who goes there?
Yes, and then I'll send the hand in there.
You hear a voice replying, "It's just a rat."
Okay, I reach in to grab whatever the fuck this is.
Myzel summons the whip.
The ghost hand is destroyed as it reaches like behind the crates.
Alright, enemy. The first grunt has appeared.
Doesn't have to be an enemy.
Did you hear its voice? That was
You don't
enemy
have to judge
coded.
somebody on your first impressions. Hi there, we're not here to harm you. What's your name?
Well, reveal
I
yourself.
am.
You hear like a clawing sound, and then out from behind one of the crates you can see like this claw, a human looking hand, but gray, like this pale gray coloration with this slightly broken, like slightly rotten claws, like just grasping at the edge of the crate, leaving this scratch mark on it. And then it's a humanoid looking creature, but it kind of like crawls from behind it in this animalistic way. It doesn't approach you, just like claws behind it and then glances at you. It was definitely human once. It has like a human face, but its skin is a pale gray. The hair is also graying out, white in some spots. It has completely red eyes. It's not like red irises. It's just like its eyes are completely red. It's looking at you with the tongue sort of like lolling out. Sharp fangs, canines, and wearing something that does look to be like, it's not a prison uniform, but it is a uniform that you could. You haven't
Is that the
ever seen
guardian from earlier?
No, it's not. It's not wearing a guard uniform. It's wearing a uniform that you have not seen yet, but you could presume maybe to be the one of the people who either work or are intern here use. It crawls out and looks at you. Its head keeps like flickering a little bit, and it seems to be like shaking, trembling. Your meat, food, blood.
I can promise you I am not your food.
Then why here?
Why are you here? How long have you been here? Do you
Looking.
remember? What's your name? Let's start with that.
Stops, looks up, then it climbs up on one of the crates and lies with its belly up, sort of like starts kicking its feet and kind of like scratching itself. I don't know. Don't remember.
Are you protecting this room, or is this just where you live?
Looking for food. Food. You have food.
There's food in here.
No. As it says no, it starts like, it does this crawling motion through the crate, and then it reaches the wall and starts crawling like through the wall, up the wall, and then on the ceiling. It begins like crawling everywhere, kind of as if it can't stay put in one place for very long. It says, no. No food here. No food here, only food. You. Inside. Smell. I smell it. You have food.
I'm going to assume my lichen form, and I'll just like bare my teeth at him. Just like,
Yes,
I am
yes,
not
yes.
your food.
It seems to get a little intimidated, and then it loses its quote unquote footing on the ceiling a little bit and just like falls on like a crate with a few rotten sausages.
I think Luna's just going to throw the knives sort of around him in a circle. Or it. I don't really know what this is. Alright, I think that's quite enough.
Why don't you tell us about your master?
Master? What master?
Maybe
Master.
he could be
The
someone
one who created you.
that-
I don't know. Girl, boy. It was definitely taller than 1, but probably smaller than 5.
Wait, what? You confused me.
As it's talking to you, it begins like chewing on its fingers. Like, yes, it had hands. More than 1, less than 3. It had a number of feet. Teeth, it had teeth. And maybe some eyes. Yes. Yes.
I'm sure this is going nowhere.
If we turn and leave out this door to go find other people here, are you going to follow us and attack us?
No.
Is that true? Does it seem like it's trying to hunt us,
No, it's
or is it
no,
just gonna keep looking for food?
it's very obviously a lie. It replies no in the most comically yes way you could possibly imagine.
So do you want to fight me right here?
Fight, no, eat, yes.
Well, I'm sorry, that's not happening.
I'm
How
gonna
many people
toss
have you
you
eaten
a
since
piece
coming
of
here?
jerky into the back room. You're going to stay there and eat whatever the hell you want and ignore us.
Can't eat jerky.
Why?
This is clearly a
Do you
vampire.
only eat
We need to-
flesh or blood? Living?
Only the hot thing inside the body.
Well, I'm sorry, that's non-negotiable.
Well, I'm hoarding now.
I will engage with this guy then. If he will not take words, he will take my fists to his face.
I said enemy.
And I tried negotiating. You know, everybody's got to get a chance to talk. You can't be letting people not have a chance to talk. What are you, the American court system?
What's America?
A nightmare place. That's what it is.
All
So
right,
yes,
let's
I would
shoot
like
it down.
to engage in fisticuffs.
Okay, you want to attack the thing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just
Alright.
throw a bunch of daggers if Lee is engaging. That'll be my
Yeah.
contribution.
When you like get like directly hostile, it's definitely going to pounce on you. Well, Romy
I'll
and
do like the all right, then I'll like go to fake out turn and then just turn around and rock him.
yeah, Romy and initiative roll.
I know where that is on my sheet.
There is no combat.
No, there is no combat tracker.
encounter.
No.
Okay, then just a d20 plus.
I'm not going to make a combat for something that is not going to last more than 3 turns.
That's okay. I just gotta figure out. Okay, so I get plus 3 to initiative.
I'm just doing the initiative because I want to track if you're going to take any damage at all. Like it's not a question of whether or not you're going to defeat this obviously starved vampire. It's more a matter if it's going to get a hit in and diminish your health in any way or not before you do so.
Wow,
Okay,
look at this. What the
Nice
fuck?
twinsies. Oh my god,
The
girls, get it
girls-
done.
All the girls
Bruh.
are girling.
I think Iluna's dexterity would be higher, so you can go ahead.
Alright, so Luna's just gonna dagger.
Okay. Make your attack rolls.
Oh,
Oh.
boy.
There you go. Back down to earth.
Yeah. 27 hits. The 13 does not though.
$26.
Okay, so that is 26 damage. Let me take a look at these things. All right, it's still just barely still alive after your mild dagger barrage. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Right, Lilia?
So how my action goes depends on the accurate location of what's in this room and where I am and what I can see. Because I'm trying to figure out how many people I am yeeting force with the force of my jump as I scale pierce into this guy.
Holy shit! Yeah,
Right.
the ceiling is quite high, so you have ample room to jump.
Imagine Ron
The
just
thing is- The thing is, yeah, you have 10 feet. Like you're just gonna drag like at least 3 people together with you on the jump, and they
do I
may
have enough
crash.
strength to do that?
Yeah, you do have the strength. It's just about whether or not you want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, you drag
Dragging
people
Noah and
together.
Rala.
I think I have to do it at least once. I feel like
No.
that'd be very on brand of just the
You
one
drag-
time forgetting.
Yeah, you drag the party on the world's deadliest roller coaster.
Can
Well,
I?
you know what? That's really funny
uh,
because Rala's the lightest one in the group, so Rala's just like midair as Lilia
Just fucking
jumps.
flying her like
Yeah.
a kite.
And like,
Since
and
I
like,
would-
you don't just jump and land naturally. You know, the jump has a component of like almost like you're jumping backwards, like downwards from the air because you are crashing with a force.
Yeah.
So there is a certain whip effect that almost makes the you're the last person, so it almost makes the first person, which is Mizell, like kind of like whip him to the ceiling itself, but that doesn't happen necessarily.
Since I went first and I kind of know Lilia, could Luna be like, "Uh-oh," and then jump at the same time? Be like,
Yeah. You
"Not
can
fucking
sort of
fair."
like diminish the effect by jumping yourself as well. The others
Yeah.
just don't have the same luck.
Alright,
That's
I'll do my
all.
attacks. I'll do the I'll reckless, why not?
Okay.
So
19 does hit.
19, and then I also get my scale piercer. Oh, why didn't it roll the? Okay, whatever. It's a D8. No, just one. I don't need two. No, stop.
Yep,
Okay.
you. It's a 6. You dive into this beast who's just gotten several daggers tossed at it, and they all ripped certain parts of its flesh. And you rip with your claw straight into its chest, and you can tear out its heart if you wish. But it's
I mean, do we
very
want
dead.
it?
Does it have magic eyes?
No, please
No.
God.
I try and I guess it happens fast enough. Can I try and turn around and catch Rala so she doesn't just get flung into the ground?
Sure. But yeah, you kill the thing, and as you've ripped parts of like its clothing, etc., you can tell that this thing is starved, like emaciated.
It just
Seems
feels bad.
Was, I guess.
Seems like there are things worse than vampires around here.
Guess it's a reminder that there's worse things than death, including this kind of undeath.
Well, so would you like us to lead us into another food storage?
So
There are no
I'm
other doors in
leaving.
this room.
no, there are no other doors. Like it's just a pantry of sorts.
And that poor guy we just kind of killed. Well, I mean, he said he was going to fight us, so we fought him first.
Oh, he was definitely just waiting for you guys to let your guard down for any second to pounce on anyone.
Yeah.
It was
And I
taking
think that
it was taking all he had to not do that on impulse.
All right. So walking away.
gonna wait.
Walking back out to the entrance hall.
All right, you walk out the kitchen and back into the corridor. To reiterate, there is an archway leading down here. Further down the corridor, there is a certain source of light at the end, but you can't see the far edge of the corridor, just like that midpoint with the light. And just ahead of you to the right, like right at the end of your field of vision, there is a door, like a larger double wooden door.
I guess we'll do the store first. Why not?
As you begin to approach the door, everyone who has above a 15 passive perception, you would hear these heavy, semi-rhythmic thudding steps. They seem relatively closer to where you are now.
Does this sound like dancing footsteps at all?
Dancing?
Yeah. Like rhythmic at all, or is it just haphazard?
Make a perception check. Where you have advantage?
Being a dragoon.
Okay. We just stop for a second and try and listen to the steps themselves, and indeed they are steps. That is the next. I kind of like mixed the order of the reveal there, but yes. You can identify that they are happening above you and behind you. So presumably on the second floor, at a space that is slightly behind your current location, and it's this And after a brief moment, you actually begin to hear them not as above you as they were before.
I zoned out for a second. Can I ask another quick question about the food storage room?
Sure.
Were the ones that didn't seem rotten, did they seem like they were newer boxes that had been added
No.
recently?
No, they were just randomly not rotted.
That seems strange,
Less perishable goods.
I suppose.
No, they were
And
the
was there
same.
anything?
They were the same kinds of goods as the other ones. They were just randomly not rotted.
That seems strange.
It does, doesn't it? Have you ever seen Stranger Things?
Oh my god.
Um,
Can Meisel's investigator brain figure out why those goods might not be spoiled?
there is no rational answer available to you.
Okay, cool. And what was this way?
You have not inspected that way yet, but Iluna has just stopped for a moment to contemplate the sounds that she was hearing coming from the
Gotcha.
level above.
Yeah.
She has just detected that they are happening at some point behind your position currently, so a little more to the west of sorts, more in the direction of the kitchen you just left. And they were above you, but you're beginning to hear them a little bit not as above you as they were before.
Can I get a sense for which way they're heading?
With the 23, you had detected that they were headed. They were sort of like. Let me just. They were at the kitchen, at the kitchen's like, more or less position, going south. And now they are not moving like horizontally, but they are moving vertically. And I would say that others in the party begin to hear it as well, like this heavy poof, poof, and a slight like not cracking, but you know when something heavy steps onto stone and there is that like slight like crackling sound, like sometimes dust falls from it and a slight adjusting as the stone settles in. You kind of hear that. What are you doing?
Well, it seems like there's something looking to greet us upstairs.
Yeah, something.
Continues thudding down.
How high is the ceiling?
Ceiling should be around like 20 to 25 feet up.
Does the
Oh.
sound is the sound stationary or is it moving?
It was moving. It seems to be around ground level now.
This way?
Yes, that way.
Do I see anything through that archway?
Still out of your field of vision. You'll see barely past the archway itself.
Great.
It does seem to be almost entering it.
Friends, ready your weapons.
Did everyone sneak?
There's this Are you just gonna stand
Take a
next to the
defensive
archway?
stance, I guess.
I think I'll. I want to. It's outside our field of vision, right?
It's just barely outside your field of vision.
I'm gonna recast light on my dagger, and then just throw it across to like a room to like a wall somewhere.
Okay,
Hey.
the field of vision is not a light thing necessarily. It's that you can't, like, if you remember from last session,
Oh, I cannot. Yeah, I cannot
Yeah.
pierce the darkness.
even if your dark vision penetrates farther, you can't really see it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, never mind then. It's just on her ass then. Well, I mean, you're the one in front. I cannot, unless you want me to pull forward.
No, Myzel will
I mean, I
be the
can pull
first
forward.
one.
We have a little
Just-
slack. I can be in front.
Right.
There's 10 feet,
As
right?
as you step further 10 feet, the steps get closer and closer to you, and finally a creature emerges for all of you, really, like from the shadows, like the weird sort of twisty, writhing shadows of this place. It is a massive form. In terms of size, if Lilia was to stand beside it, she would be up to like his navel, maybe. It's this hulking humanoid-esque, but just barely humanoid shape. The arms like hanging from the side of it and almost touching the ground, much longer than a human's arms would be. The figure is wearing these tattered clothes. A certain portion of it seems to resemble what you would expect, like something like an official looking garb of sorts, but mixed at places with a white long-sleeved fabric with a few belts and straps, which those of you more familiar with medical facilities would associate with a straitjacket. But this entity has far outgrown all of the clothes it's wearing, and they are just stretched thin. Almost as stretched thin as the flesh that is resting on this thing's massive muscles. It has a pale white skin. At several points, you can actually see the muscle beneath it because the skin has been stretched so thin, it ripped and doesn't seem to be bleeding from it, but also doesn't seem to care enough to regenerate it. One of its arms seemed to be loose, not tightly, but slightly bound to the side of its body by that straitjacket fabric. The other arm just laying near like its ankle height, very, very long. The thing's face is this like bald, almost like stitched together visage with almost like glowing red eyes. It has no lips. It just has like an opening for its mouth with big fangs, as you can recognize from vampiric-like entities. It doesn't have any hair in its either, and it seems to have like this misshapen blotch on one side of its neck. I'm going to just place it on the map there for now.
Ugh.
No eyes or no eye sockets, but glowing red eyes or something like that. Is that what you said?
It's more like the entire eyeball is red, is what I meant.
Okay.
Any other Mistborn fans in chat? I love it.
There's one sitting right next to me.
I'm sending Daka. I love these guys so much. They're one of my favorite things.
Oh my god. That is a dude. Yep.
Eh.
Send it to
They're
me.
like cousins.
Yeah,
They're
that's
like
pretty close.
Kolas
Yeah.
cousins.
And this being emerges from the shadows,
So cool.
heavy thudding steps, and just making a grunting noise of like
I would
And
whisper down to
soon as-
Rala. Do you want to untie me before this happens?
Yeah, I think
Actually, hold on.
fully Luna cuts herself free.
No,
And that's-
friends, I have a plan. Just make a U shape, put the small ones at the back. Fighters forward.
But that is where we're going to end the session for tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we have much time to do much.
Yes, exactly. We're already pushing.
Yeah. Could I cut myself free? Is that could I just slash?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, there was not a good time for me to ask as the thing was approaching of like, hey, Rala, do you want to untie me real quick?
Yeah, you can cut the rope. It's easy enough.
Myzel has a plan, so we don't have to do that.
I mean,
no. I'm
impulse
gonna
actions.
jump.
Yeah.
Always retie.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay. My row!
See that?
Well.
I'm gonna start yanking you up, down, all around, teleport.
Yeah, we're about to start playing like jump rope with the whole fucking party. Otherwise,
It would be really funny.
yeah, Rala and Noah would just be going on a ride of their life.
Yeah, this girl weighs nothing. You're gonna like mishandle her. Jeez.
Again, I'm flying her like a kite.
Yeah, Rala weighs nothing. I'm pretty sure Lilia can bench press a small elephant.
If not, I think so. I technically, while raging, I think have the carrying capacity of 2 sizes up
What?
due to both the arms and the bracers, I believe. Or no, I can grapple like I'm 2 sizes up.
Okay, I was like, if you can lift 2 sizes up, that means that you are now in the huge category.
I think
Yeah.
I can grapple huge creatures, so I think I could actually grapple this guy.
I mean,
That
He's
guy's only
large.
large, so
He's
yeah.
large.
Oh, is
yeah.
I large? Oh, then easy. I'm gonna suplex that bitch.
Sure.
if you actually suplex this monster, I would be so hyped.
Well,
I'm excited.
we're gonna
No, I'm
see
hyped.
about
I'm so
that
hyped.
next week.
I'm so excited. Is it next week yet?
Yep, we made some headway today.
Oh yeah. Thank you for being patient with my bullshit.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm home. I'll be home for
I
a
don't
while.
mind the travel. I mind that you'd want to check every single door. Like you're Himmel the hero. Who do you think you are?
What would Himmel the Hero do though?
Respect his party.
Himmel the
No,
Hero
he
would
would-
respect women.
He would respect a woman. One woman and an elf. We don't have one of those. Well, actually, no. He would respect myself. I guess he's right. Damn it.
Haha.
Oh, you did a sled move. All right. Well,
A
thank you
pretty
for
elf
that.
dress.
I was sleepy. I'm gonna go.
Yes, thank you.
Wait. Oh,
What?
Ralla's stat sheet. Oh, wait,
So
90 pounds.
cute.
The parentheses are with Gigi.
Oh my goodness. You
Oh,
wait.
69 pounds?
30 kilograms is crazy. I could lift this child with an arm.
Easy. I could curl her. I could not curl her. Uh,
Oh my
I could
goodness.
lift
Lilia's
her.
almost like a good. Wait, no. Lilia is like 2 feet taller. No, one and like
Almost 2, because I think Lily's like 6'4".
yeah. Dear Lord. Child's tiny.
I love how the
I
subclass
wanted to
is
make a
censored.
massive cinnamon roll character, so that's what I did.
I have my massive cinnamon roll, my tiny cinnamon roll, my just sin S-I-N in
Just
Noah.
sin.
No, it is sin.
No,
We
it's
not
sin.
my
pin
call?
the height thing?
Was Myzel? He's Sinocent.
How did no one pin the height chart?
There's no way we didn't pin the height chart.
I
Did we not pin-
think we made a height chart.
It's in one and all.
Oh, okay, that's why.
I was
Oh,
gonna
but it's
say,
still not pinned.
it's
It's still not pinned.
Well, and it's also a
Yeah.
lot shorter though, I think.
It's significantly less to scroll through.
Yeah.
There it is. I found it. Hang on.
Yeah. Someone pinned that.
Can I
That's
pin?
important.
I can pin.
Actually, I think
There
it
we
needs to be
go.
updated.
Pinned.
Luna's taller
Actually,
now.
it does. It does
Yeah.
need to be updated because we also don't have Rala on it.
Well,
Oh,
This is true.
yeah.
I think this is the updated one.
Okay, I made her 6'2".
Where the fuck?
I think
here.
now Luna's 6 foot.
Yeah, I think it doesn't account for the. Well, it doesn't account for Rala, obviously, but it also doesn't account for Lilia and Luna growing a little bit from the Dragoon stuff.
6-1 is the he posted a new one.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Only Alina, I flavored that Alina grew. Lily, I let Laura choose whatever she want.
I did not get taller.
It's kind of hard to go beyond that base. Already very high level body type. That was just my own decision.
I hate talking about height because it reminds me that Heidi was like the tallest person in our Monday party for like a long time, and I was like, bruh.
Isn't she still?
I think she might be.
I think she
Yeah,
is.
isn't she also supposed to be like super short for her race?
Just normal.
Yes.
Oh, for her race, yeah.
She's very short for her race because like she's the stereotype of like Japanese like women beauty standards. They're like, you know, small woman, like pale skin, jet black hair, etc. Like all beauty standards. And I'm like, oh hey, yeah, she's small. And then everyone in the party is a fucking dwarf or something, like a hobbit.
Or a child.
Tiny. Yeah, I'm just a child. Clue's actually, I think, starting to go around to Iris height. He's probably like almost eye to eye with her at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
He's
say
like-
Clue's either as tall as Malachi or as tall as Heidi now. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, he's supposed to be tall eventually.
Yeah, how long of a time span has that campaign occurred over?
Not too long, but
I think
It's a little warped because we technically went to the Feywild and then for like a month and then came back at the exact same time in universe.
Yeah, but even not accounting for that, it has been like 2 or 3 months. If you count the Prismere, well, not 2 or 3 months, more like 2 months, I think, because we spent like a whole month in Primavera just doing stuff.
Also, actually, Malachi's female appearance is a little bit taller than Heidi.
Yeah. And then if you account for the Prismere, yeah, I think we spent like a week in the Prismere, or 2 weeks, something like that.
you know, Clue was always meant to be tall eventually.
Yeah.
That was like if you get to like his like adolescence. You know, he's like.
But it's like I think the only party member that was actually taller than I did was like fucking Leon. Yeah.
Yeah, even Amel was short.
Amel was shorter. Yeah. I mean, Kyo's characters, both of them were taller than I did as well. Both Yofil and Kumla.
Yeah.
True.
So there was at one point, and then suddenly I became like the giant.
Yeah, and then everyone who plays like, you know, reasonably sized characters left, and I was stuck with everyone who, for some reason, is incredibly short. You know, Malachi is an exceptionally short man, and then Clue is a child.
Malachi's 5'7", which is like average. Actually, that's the average height of men. Like,
okay, in Brazil, that is considered short. I don't know what to tell you, but yeah,
I'm like 5'9", 5'8", 5'7". Where? 5'7" is like.
I hate to break it to you, Daka, but the average height of men in Brazil is 5'7".
No, I know. It's like technically, yeah, but like it's just like where I live, people are pretty tall.
The U.S. average height's 5'9".
Must be something in the water. But no, but it's because ID is something like I don't know, like
It is 5'9", whatever.
5'4".
167, 170 or something like that.
167 is like